Hello friends, welcome back to another video tutorial from Shomu's Biology. In this video lecture, we want to talk about two variants of ELISA technique. Remember, if you recall the last lecture regarding ELISA, basics of ELISA test, basics of ELISA assay, I have discussed about the types of ELISA. There are four types of ELISA commonly used: direct ELISA, indirect ELISA, sandwich ELISA and competitive ELISA. Okay. So in this video we want to talk about the first two types of ELISA, which are more common type, more easy, which is direct and indirect ELISA technique. So if you want to know about direct and indirect ELISA test, you need to know the basic of ELISA test, and I want you to go through my video on basics of ELISA technique first. Remember, in the basics of ELISA technique I told you there are several different stages of ELISA assay, and the ELISA assay depends on immunological interaction between antigen and antibody, which is very specific interaction, and due to the specificity this test is very specific. It is also simple and also very diversified. So in every single type of ELISA technique there are something that we want to detect in the specimen. Either we want to detect the antigen or we want to detect the antibody. In case of direct and indirect ELISA, we have this both the varieties very clearly present. In direct ELISA we always try to detect presence of antigen, and in indirect ELISA we always try to detect the presence of antibody. Okay, these are the two types. In direct ELISA we always try to detect antigen, in indirect ELISA we try to detect antibody. So let's begin. In direct ELISA the process is very simple. As I said, enzyme, in this case the both antibody and antigen can interact, and they have a very specific bonding, very specific interaction. So what we see here is that, like every single ELISA step, we have a well, okay, and in this well what we are trying to detect. Remember, we are talking about here direct ELISA. Okay, let me write it here. We are talking about direct ELISA here, number one. Okay, and this will be to indirect ELISA. Okay, the second one. So let's draw both here also. The indirect ELISA, there is also a well. Okay, and now in direct ELISA, remember this always, we are trying to detect antigen, and presence of antigen in body indicates that there is some disease going on, because antigen means a foreign particle coming in from a bacteria or virus. Okay, it can be a portion of bacterial DNA, it can be a portion of bacterial protein, coat proteins and components like LPS layer of bacteria, flagella of bacteria. All these things can act as this antigen. Okay, an antibody is the protein produced against a particular determinant of antigen that fights against that particular bacteria or virus in our body. That is the antibody. Okay. So antibody is produced by our body to protect us, and antibody has a proper binding with antigen. So in direct ELISA we are detecting presence of antigen. So what happens is that there are two situations. Let me draw two wells. Okay. In well number one, so two wells, and the samples used here coming from two different patients. Okay. So patient number one and patient number two. Let's say we are trying to detect whether the patient has any kind of infection or disease or not. Let's say that there is a disease called X disease. Okay, and we know in X disease a specific antigen is found in the body, and we are trying to find that antigen. And to find that antigen, what we will do is that we need the specific antibody that binds with that antigen, right? So we use that antibody mixture as our reagent. We only need that reagent. So what we do is the very first thing, we add the patient specimen into it, and remember the specimen contains multiple things. It contains this blue, different, let's draw different varieties here. Let's draw different varieties, green one also. Let's say green one is the unique one here. The green one is the component, the antigen that we are searching for, and then this is the specimen added. Then after adding the specimen, what we add? The reagent mix. In both of them the reagent mix is added. The reagent mix is nothing but the it's nothing but the antibody, specific antibody targeted towards the antigen, green here, and this antibody is coated with it's linked with an enzyme in the FC region. Okay, why it's linked to the enzyme? Because this antibody specifically targetedly bind with the antigen, the process is done. Why it is added to the enzyme? Because after the step is done, then we add a substrate molecule. The substrate molecule is converted by the enzyme into a colored product. So this well gets colored. While in this one, when we add the let's say we add here, we add the antibody, which is also linked with enzyme. Okay. And what happens afterwards is that, normally what happens in case of this direct ELISA, the sample that we add is generally fixed to the well. It's fixed to the well so that it cannot go out of it. Okay. So what happens here in this one, as the antigens are fixed to the well, and then we add the antibody linked with enzyme, then we wash, unbound things are washed out, and then we add substrate is converted to colored product. But in this case, without antigen antibody interaction, remember, without antigen antibody interaction, enzyme cannot convert the substrate into product. And the second thing is that this enzyme cannot convert substrate into product. Another reason for that is that if these antigens are fixed to the well and then we add the antibody, but there is no specific antigen found in this sample or specimen, so antibody cannot bind with any of this antigen because they are not specific interaction. As a result, when we do the washing stage, very very important, remember, fixing of antigen antibody is first step, then addition of the specimen, after that we wash, after that we may or may not use secondary antibody. In this case we don't need secondary antibody, we simply add the substrate. In this case substrate is converted to the colored product, in this case substrate failed to convert to the colored product because in this washing stage this antibody added are removed. Okay, so antibodies are removed, and due to the removal of this antibody, even if we add the substrate, there is no enzyme present that can convert the substrate into the colored product. So in this case we have a color at the end, you have no color at the end. So this is going to tell us that this specimen contains our targeted antigen, it's present. In this case the targeted antigen is absent. This is direct ELISA method. So for example, you just recovered from COVID-19 disease, you just recovered from the SARS-CoV-2 infection, and if you want to detect the presence of the antibody, specific IgG antibody against that virus in your blood, then this test is used, indirect ELISA. How it is used? In this case of indirect ELISA, what we do, again what we are detecting, remember, is very important of what we are detecting. We are detecting antibody. We are trying to find out specific antibody. So in order to find that, what we simply do is that we fix antigen. We know what antigen will bind with this antibody. The antigen means the portion of the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and that is the coat protein of SARS-CoV-2 virus. So we will fix the antigen. Let's assume these are the antigen, these are the specific antigen which are fixed to the bottom of the well, and let's design that for both. Two examples we will discuss, again a positive and a negative test. Okay, this is again SARS-CoV-2 antigen, and after, so the first step, antigen and antibody fixed to the bottom of the well, it's fixed, it's done. Second step, addition of specimen. Let's add the specimen. The specimen, let's assume here the specimen contains so many different things, so many different proteins. What we are trying to detect here, we are trying to detect, let's say there are different antibodies as well present in this medium. Different antibodies are present. In this case also different antibodies are present, but a specific antibody, that is in this case denoted with green color. Okay, I am denoting it with a green color, that is also present here. A mixture of antibody that is present there. So addition of specimen, in this case we are trying to find out the presence of specific antibody. Then we do a washing. Washing is done, because if the antibody needs to bind with the antigen, it will bind in very few minutes. So this antibody, in this case let's say the green color antibody are the specific ones. So here in the right hand side, only the green color antibodies will bind to the antigen that are present in the well, I am drawing it very simplistically, but actually it's not that simple, it's more complicated. So this antibody will bind, rest of the antibodies are washed out. So after the washed out stage, this is the result. After the washing stage, it's done. And afterwards we are adding secondary antibody. What is a secondary antibody? A secondary antibody is an antibody which is targeted to bind against the Fc region of a primary antibody. This was a primary antibody. The primary antibody is the target here. That's what we want to detect. And secondary antibody is the one which is enzyme linked, that binds with the Fc region of the primary antibody. So this is secondary antibody. Secondary antibody, enzyme linked antibody. So we also had secondary antibody, enzyme linked antibody there, right? But the problem here in this left hand well is that this secondary antibody has nothing to bind. Primary, in this case, in this well, the secondary antibody has a primary antibody to bind. After that we run another washing stage. This washing stage will wash out any of the secondary antibody here in the left hand side, but it failed to wash out the secondary antibody to the right hand side because they are properly anchored, right? Then comes the substrate. We'll add the substrate. Let's add the substrate here. Substrate is added, and this enzyme which is linked with the secondary antibody will convert the substrate into colored product. So what we will find? We'll find the generation of color here, means a positive state, positive taste, report is positive, and there is no color here, so report is negative. So what we can tell from here is that the specimen we used here from patient 2 contained the antibody, specific IgG antibody against SARS-CoV-2 virus. So that means the patient number 2 may have incurred this viral infection or COVID-19 disease, while in patient number 1 is negative for the targeted antibody. That means patient number 1 may not have this disease, may not have the disease even in the past. So that's what we can tell. Using indirect ELISA, we can find out the presence of a specific target antibody. So these are the two steps. In direct ELISA, we are detecting antigen utilizing antibody reagent. In indirect ELISA, we are detecting antibody using antigen fixed to the well. That's how simple it is, following these steps of reaction. So that's all about direct ELISA and indirect ELISA. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to this channel to get more and more videos like that. Thank you.